Good morning, guys. It is May 4th, 2024. It is a lovely Saturday morning here in Northern Virginia. It is a gray, overcast. I can hear the rain outside because I have the windows on. I have the windows open. I can hear the rain just kind of puttering down. It's one of those mornings that I love. I thrive on weather like this where it's overcast. The rain I could kind of give or take, but the overcast and the cool weather, I kind of love it. I absolutely love it. I thought today I would take a break from everything else in my life and kind of start working on or continue working on the GeoSketcher game that I've worked on a little bit. Trying to get this off-screen window all sorted away so I can see the chat if anybody comes in and also can see everything else. What is going on? Okay, there it is. There's the chat. Perfect. And then I got this, and then I got this window open. Okay, we're good to go. So today I want to accomplish a few things. I think I want to get rid of these buttons here because the functionality should be right now. I'm holding down the right mouse button in order to draw. And when I draw over top of something, when I'm holding down the right mouse button, I should also draw, right? It's not like an erase. If I want to erase, what I should have to do is hold down the right mouse button. So that's not working, and I don't think I implemented that, which would make sense as to why that's not working. So let's see about implementing that. Then what I want to do is this entire game window, I want to move it up, but I want to move it up dynamically according to the size of the window itself. And when I move this whole map, when I move this entire little map window or item up a little bit, this text over here that says press escape to clear, blah, 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 it's off the screen. I need to move that down and center it. And just before the stream, I was working on centering it, which is why it's kind of like over to the right-hand side and not even completely on the screen. But that's what I think we're going to take care of today. So let's start by, kind of getting warmed up and tackling what I think is probably the easiest thing. Let me do this. I'm going to restore the chat. I want to make this window small. And there we go. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let me see if my friend Joe's around because I can always count on Joe to come and listen and hang out if he's available. So I got to load up Discord and see what the deal is, but that's going to take several minutes. Okay, so let's start with by clicking the mouse, having the right mouse button do an erase when you're drawing on top of it. So that's going to be handled, I think, in Tile Manager maybe, because I believe the game screen will process the events, but it passes it down to the event manager. So if I look over here, I think it's poll, which actually processes the events, and key press we're not interested in. Yeah. So what happens is the idea is it would be processed somewhere in here. Oh, does this mean I could? Oh, but okay, then tiles event. So I'm wondering. Okay, because what this means is, this means that if you can't have two events at once. Okay, because I was thinking like, well, what happens if the escape key is pressed when you move the mouse button? Then what's going to happen is I was thinking you would process this and then you would process the mouse movement, but that's incorrect. You actually only have one event at a time, so we're good. I do think for the sake of optimization, you could do things like return an empty result here, perhaps even one here, because what's happening now is, and the default could even be a return, right? Now I'll look at this. I'll look at the aggregate of all these changes in a second, but the reason I'm doing this is because what's happening now is the event loop's coming in here. It's seeing that a key was pressed, right? and then it goes through and it processes it as, it might, like this one, it might clear the screen. Then it exits out of this if loop, and then it still gets passed to tiles event. We don't need to pass it to tiles event because all tiles event is doing is looking for mouse movements. Is it looking for other things? So right now we don't need, and we probably want to think about this a little more than what I'm thinking about it here. But right now I'm thinking, let's just keep these return statements here. I'm actually, you know what? I think it would be better to just have a Boolean. Just do it with a Boolean. So bool. In this way, what happens is if we process the event, then we can exit early. We don't have to do that extra call to the tile manager, right? All right, so bool equals, so it's going to be process false. Now here's an interesting question. Yep, no, it's actually not that interesting of a question because we're going to say process. We're going to consider the event processed if it falls into the default one. I think here. So what is the advantage of using the Boolean as opposed to returning? I'm going back and thinking that I want to use return. You know what? I think I will. Even though I dislike, I normally would not want to use return in this context because this personally makes code for me harder to read. Because what's going to happen at some point, we might have a key press that needs to get handled in Tile Manager. So actually in that case, you would want to remove return from here. But who knows what the future holds, right? Because maybe you want to press space and maybe you want to have it handled here and then you want to have it handled here as well. And then you're realizing, well, why isn't Tile Manager ever coming? And then you got to look and you're like, oh, okay, it's because it's getting, you're doing a return first. To me, it makes it a little harder to read. However, I think we're going to leave it for now. I think that's what we'll do. But I completely forgot where I was going with this now. This is a problem of mine. I'll get sidetracked by one thing, and I'll completely forget what I was doing with it. What was I doing? Let me just run the program, and we'll take a look. But it was the right mouse button, which I wanted to handle here in the Tile Manager. All right, so let's go over here. Okay, we built. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm guessing, let's see, this is mouse button pressed. I am going to guess that there is a right mouse button pressed. No. A mouse button was pressed. Data in event mouse button. So I guess I have to, am I already doing that? Ah, yes, I am. Okay, so dragging equals true. And it looks like I had this functionality in here at some point. Now selecting is an odd, I'm going to call this drawing actually. Drawing, and it's just in a couple of places apply. Okay, drawing just makes more sense to me. I don't know why. I guess when I originally wrote it, I was thinking like, oh, you're selecting this to be drawn. I guess I don't know. So what we can do here is we can do a small optimization here like this. We can do. So drawing equals, yeah, otherwise it's going to be false, okay. And then, so then the mouse move button is what actually is doing this. Now, are we looking for the drawing variable anywhere in here? Mouse moved, get that, okay, so let's look at mouse moved. You get the XY coordinates, and then, oh, okay. This is getting the XY coordinates according to the container, to the tile manager. I see that. And then once it has those, and then it's saying, okay, this here is basically saying maybe it might not have a value. Then once you get those coordinates, you're looking for an actual tile. You're looking for a tile itself, and then I guess you're making sure that you're not looking for yourself, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. So there's no point in looking for yourself if you're already equal to yourself. So if dragging... So I think what I've implemented here is just being able to draw with either mouse button, right? Let's see if that works. And I think so. Drawing, Foss. But see, is the opposite of drawing erasing, or is the opposite of drawing not drawing? That is an important question that you need to answer on your own. That's for everybody to answer individually. Okay, new game. Let's start. Okay, so I'm going to draw something with the left mouse button. Now, if I use the right mouse button, it is erasing. It's erasing. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And I can hold the right mouse button and I can leave. Now, I can't... This is an interesting thing, because if I leave the tile manager and then I come back, I'm not drawing, and I'm not erasing anymore. And just like drawing, I'm not drawing anymore. Now that is a bug. That is a bug, because you would expect, as long as you hold the left mouse button down, and I'm drawing, then I leave the tile and then I come back. I'm still holding the left mouse button down, but it's just not drawing anymore. That is a bug. But we'll fix it later. I'm not super concerned with that bug right now. I am a little concerned about why, okay, so dragging PT, okay, so yeah, the pointer selected equals drawing, and then, okay, and then I'm doing some adjacent logic, which still needs to be done. I think this can probably be, wait, FX, GX. Yeah. This here can be commented out. Whoa, I don't want to erase it, but this can be commented out for now, because what this is trying to, why is my comment, why did I change the shortcut? No. Control K, Control C. There we go. What this code is doing is, when you draw really quickly, but you know how sometimes the squares, they don't get drawn because the mouse messages you might have a mouse message on square 1, and then you move the mouse really quickly and you only get a second mouse message when you're on square 10. So all those squares of 2 through 9, they never got a mouse message, so you don't know to draw them. So I'm trying to figure that out. Pinging Joe to see if he's around. All right, so let's so what this code is doing, that code's looking for the adjacent. It's trying to build a line, but then this is going to get into a lot of math, which I normally like, but it's been a few years since I've done any intensive math, so I'm like, all right, I will come back to that. I'll just come back to that. Okay. So we should be in a spot now where we're drawing with the left mouse button, and then we're erasing with the right mouse button, and that is exactly what we're doing. If we clear, and then we come around and we draw a circle with a smiley face, and then I want to erase the mouth and I want to make it a sad face, I can do that with just mouse buttons. And mouse movements, obviously. Okay, so we got that. I think we'll check that in for now. All right, so I think I changed a couple of things. I'm a little OCD about it. Okay, this was another change, which we'll talk about in a minute. So this is irrelevant to what we just did. However, this bottom part is not. So okay, stage the whole change, click on align I don't want to stage the whole change. Can I stage just this line? I mean, I think that's what that's saying. Stage the current line. Okay. So this was the change where right. Okay. So that was the change where I, was returning early from the event handler. And then this, let's see what we got here. This was, wait, is this in Tile Manager? No, I'm not in Tile Manager. I'm in Game Screen. Okay. This was the small optimization we did, and this is removing some experimental code. This was just the renaming of a variable. All right. And then I believe this should just be the same renaming of a variable, which it is, and that's fine. All right, so what did we do there? We re-implemented erasing with the right mouse button. I should say probably, no, that's correct. Right mouse button. All right, cool. Now let's move on to the next thing. I should have created a list of things I wanted to do because I've already forgot what I was talking about or what I wanted to do. My memory is woof, boy. All right. New game. All right, I remember now. So we were talking about moving this up, moving this box here, or the drawing box, moving the drawing box up further on the screen, and then this text over here, moving it down and centered. Now, one of the things I was doing before the stream was this text over here, which is starting the timer. It was huge. And the reason it was huge was because I was working on the game on my Mac. So I was doing like set text size for a size that looked good on my Mac. But of course, now when you switch over to Windows, the resolution is different, the screen size is different, so it looked huge. And this can make it a bit of a pain in the butt because now that I've changed it, instead of giving it a fixed static size, I've given the text a size relative to the window size. I think I made it like 4% of the Windows width is the size of this timer text. And now I got to wait till I get back on my Mac to see if that's okay. There was a time where I actually had like a Mac and a Windows machine next to each other, and they were like the keyboard and mouse were connected using this program called Synergy. I don't even know if that's still around, but you could set Synergy up on both machines, and then you could literally just move your mouse. You can move your mouse over to one screen where on your PC and type. And then on the same keyboard and mouse, you could move it over to the other screen that was your Mac, and you could type and use your mouse. It was actually really great, but that made it really easy to write something on Windows and try it on Mac or something like that. But anyway, I think for right now we're not going to have that set up. Though I do have a Mac, I could in theory do it. I have a monitor. I could do it too. I'm not going to do it now. No, the one thing I am lacking is desk space, so I wouldn't have a desk to put it on. That would be the problem. Okay, so let's work on just moving this tile up, and also I think another thing we might need to do is get rid of these buttons. These buttons aren't really going to be used. I thought they might. And if we get rid of the buttons, what we're going to do is we're going to make this window, I think, even a little bigger, right? Because right now it's exactly half. It's a little less than half the size. But I think if the window, well, we got to think about this carefully. Because this, believe it or not, is a square, right? These have the same dimensions. I always find that a little strange because it looks like it's taller than it is wider, but no, it actually has the same amount of blocks going up as it goes down. So we need to move this, we need to get rid of the buttons and move this over. Maybe I'm thinking the tile window or the tile control, the tile manager. Let's just keep calling it the tile manager because that's what the class is called. I keep thinking that the tile manager should probably be, the left-hand side of it should be where these buttons are now. And then the right hand side of it should be where it currently is, but then we have to make sure that the height of that is going to make sense as well. So we'll see where we end up with that. And we got to remember, we can't use fixed sizes. We have to do all of this with relative sizes. And right now I'm going to be using the relative size of the window. So it's almost like this is going to be like 55% the width of the window and something like that. So let's start with the easy stuff, which is moving the tile manager to the left and getting rid of the buttons. Let's see. All right, so that is all done in game screen. Up here, the buttons I believe are set in init GUI, and they should be easy enough to get rid of just simply by commenting them out and not adding, let's see. So that's the clear button, the erase button, and the draw button. I think we can get rid of these. I'm going to comment them out for now. Now, where were they anchored? How did I anchor them? So I anchored them at... I anchored them at the tile manager. What I did okay, so I anchored them on the left-hand side of the tile manager. I took that position and then I subtracted the size of the button plus 20 from that position. So that way it was far enough to the left to show the button and then give you a buffer of like 20 pixels, which was, about what it looked like there. So, Okay, so that should get rid of the buttons. Now, where is okay, so we're looking at X location. This is it. This is the X location. So this anchor, the way that I draw the tile manager is we have the anchor, which is the top left-hand, the coordinates for the top left-hand point of the tile manager. And then I define the size of the tile manager, with this edge len variable. I'm not sure why I called it that, but I did. With this edge len, so that way you can see it's square, right? Because I'm using the same variable to define the X and Y. Right now, I think the Y location is just hard coded 75. Like I just give it a buffer, and I think I was doing that when I was just like, I just need to get some space. Sometimes we all need space, right? I mean, come on, really? But what we need to do... All right, let's start with the X location. So the X location now has to move over to the right-hand side a little bit. To the left. So, well, okay, first of all, what am I doing? How did I come up with this crazy plan? So edge length is equal to the height to 90% of the window. Of the height of the window, because I get okay. So I see what I was doing up here. So what I was doing up here was, well, what's bigger? Is the width or the height bigger? Whichever one is smaller, take 90% of that. So here, all I did was just say, okay, the height, take the height of the window and take 90% of the height, because the game, think of like think of a monitor, and a monitor it's wider than it is tall. So my thought process, I'm guessing, was you want it to fill up. You want the tile manager to fill up you want it to fill up its space vertically. You want the tile manager to go from top to bottom mostly, but you're not too concerned with the width, because you're going to, the purpose of the game, again, is to have a bunch of stuff on one side. So let me see if I can find, what happened? I actually did, where did it go? What was that? What is that site called? There's this site called Balsamiq. And And I love the way that they allow you to draw. I see that they allow you to draw like, you know, kind of mock-ups of like screens and stuff. Let me see if I can log into my account on this computer. I might not be able to. Oh, I typed in my email wrong. Let me try this. No, it's not gmail.omc. Although an OMG domain would be pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oh. Ah, here we go. Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Wait a minute. Did I lose all my stuff? Okay, here we go. Okay, I think it's a show. So, can I get rid of that? Okay, so this is the game. This was the menu, but here's the gameplay. Right here is the idea I'm going for. The map doesn't necessarily need to be flush with this text. So, So what was I doing? So I want to move it over. You see, I don't have the buttons here. So let's just edge length. I mean, we can make that a little bit bigger. Originally had it as, you know, 92.5%, but we want to move it over a little bit. So we got the X location by taking the width of the window, okay, minus the edge length, or no, I'm sorry, minus the edge length plus the edge length times 5%. Okay, and that was in order to give a little buffer over here on the right-hand side. Let's see how this looks. The tile manager is still going to be too far to the right. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be the case. I guess Joe's asleep or not on Discord. Okay, here we go. All right, we got this, we got this, we got this. Okay. I don't hate the way it looks, but I guess I'm a little confused as to why suddenly it's taller. Well, I do need to move it up. Wind height. So I guess I moved it down more than it's... Yeah, this top buffer is probably causing problems. Okay. I still want to move it to the left a little bit, because let's look at that again. I mean, was that halfway? Let's see, we got this start. We got... Oh, it's actually a little... I think that's a little more than halfway. Right? Yeah. But I don't know if that's just my mind playing tricks on me or my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think that is a little more than halfway. Which kind of... No, actually, that might be perfectly halfway. Yeah, I think that's actually dead center in the middle, which is fine. But we still have to fix the issue of, well, okay, now it's being drawn off screen. So the question is, how do we fix that on various resolutions? Like... Okay, well, you know what? We don't right now. Let's fix this top buffer. Let's say top buffer, or we don't need top buffer right now. Let's say that the Y location is going to be equal to... How much of a buffer do we want? Let's say we want a buffer that is simply... Let's start with 5% of the height. So it would just be static... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's a float, so it's going to be a float. Okay. When height... Oh, it's like Google heard me. Did you see that? It's like literally, like, I love the Copilot extension, but sometimes it's like it's listening. Copilot, are you listening? Are you listening to me? It literally said 5%. I mean, I said 5%, and then it auto-completed 5% for me. That's a little weird. All right, let's see. We got here. We got here. Okay. 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 Now the okay. 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 I know like what I'm thinking. I just don't know how to verbalize it. Because what I want to do is I want to move it up a little bit. I'm going to move it. We're going to have 1.5% of a buffer. Because the text needs to go underneath of it. Oh wait, that's the wrong place. That's the horizontal buffer I'm messing with. This is the, there we go. That's the vertical buffer, which is what I want to modify. All right, let's see if this works. All right, let's see how this goes, boys. All right, we got a new game start. Okay, that's good. That is good. I think 1.5% is that's a little, it could be a little more. Maybe we'll push it down to 2%. But what I wanted was, I wanted to make sure I had space under here for this text, right? Because this press escape, we're going to move the text down and then center it. Okay, so I think 2% is a little much. Or I'm sorry, 1.5%. So let's go to 2.5%. And let's clean up some of our variables here. Let's just a bunch of... I'm going to leave this comment. I generally don't like leaving commented code in just because it makes it messy. But I think leaving this in, I think is a good way to like show what my intention was at one point, and I kind of abandoned it. So, and now I'm just going to delete these. I'll just delete this code. I don't think we need it. And what I want to do now is I want to come up with a position for this. And the text size as well, right? Because the text size can't be fixed like that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how all these changes show up on my Mac. As a matter of fact, I may go grab my Mac, pull this code down, run it, and see how it goes. But let's finish this first, and then maybe we'll do that, because maybe I'll grab another soda. Okay. So we want the Y location. We want it to be below the tile manager. So in order to do that, it's going to be tile. Oh, wait. Where did I put it in an anchor? Let me see. How did I refer to it? Okay, tiles anchor X. Okay, so what we want really is we want tiles anchor Y. And this is the same plus tile map size Y. No, I don't think that's too big. We do want a buffer. Whoops. We do want a buffer here, but I think we can just do a buffer of like, we'll start with 5 pixels. Oh, okay. Oh, what? I'm modifying the wrong thing. Okay. All right. This is sometimes you get so fixated on a certain thing, you don't see the things around it. And I already have variables for this. So let's put this here. Now, I feel like this should work already, right? This is the X location. So the X location is saying... take the anchor X. No, oh wait, take the anchor X, add. Oh, but it's only adding the label size. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just make sure the Y location got down, and then if the Y location got down, then we'll talk about the X location over a couple of minutes. Let's see. Gaurav is in the... Hi, bro. Love from India. Please see your chat. I am looking at my chat. Hello, Gaurav. All right, so let's see. Oh, it didn't move at all. What am I missing? What am I missing? The Y location should be a lot lower, shouldn't it? Oh, no, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Because what I need is what I need is tiles. Um, no, I don't need tiles anchor. I need tile size, right? Get size. Tiles. Get size. No, map size. You know what? I think this is what. I think this is what. I think this is what the AI was trying to tell me. Wait a minute. I want to look at something. I need to figure. I need to remember what is map size exactly. Okay. No, that's tile. Let me look down here. Because anchor is the XY location. Probably should document this. Anchor the XY location at the top left corner of the map. Now, there's map size and grid size. I think map size is like, because it's like a 20 by 20 map or a 50 by 50, I'm sorry, grid. That would be grid size. So map size is probably the size of the control itself, right? Map size, width and height of the control itself. That's what I'm thinking. And then grid size is the number of tiles in the XY directions. Yeah, I think and then outline size. What did we do with outline size? What was outline size? Oh, outline size was thickness and outline of each tile. Thank you, AI. All right. So let's close that. Okay, we're back over here. So what we need then is we need map size dot y. Okay, this is what I was looking for, I believe. This is what I think I was looking for. Let's try this. Can you guys hear the music? I decided I would add music to the background of this. I don't know why. I thought, yeah, let's make it cool. I'm gonna add some music so that way while I'm waiting for something to compile, you guys can sit here and watch me dance. I thought that'd be great. All right, okay, it worked. That is exactly what I wanted. That is precisely what I wanted. A couple of things. I would prefer that the top border and the right-hand border be the same size. But let's start with the easy one, and let's go ahead and center the text and maybe push it down a little bit. So this 5 scares me, right? We can't do that. Let's center the text. Let's worry about that for now, because the label. See, this is the strange thing about label size, right? Like, how does it compute the label size with? So I know in frameworks like Qt, for example, when you have a label control, you couldn't just get the size of the control if you needed the size of the text that was in the control. There was something like, especially if the label could auto grow with it, there were like special calls you had to do. Or you could there were other APIs you could use where you would tell it like, okay, this is the font and this is the size I've set my font and this is the text I want to put in it. How big would it be? That kind of thing. So that I'm sure it's a similar situation here. I am going to have some faith in TGUI here that if I set the text and I set the text size, that a get size is going to give me a reasonable size of it. Because how else could I center the label, right? 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 Wait, I think there's like some auto size or something, isn't there? There's like some concept of like auto sizing with a label. And maybe that is part of the issue with like trying to get the size. Let's see. Let's grow. Set auto size. Changes whether the label is auto sized or not. Should the size of the label be changed when the text changes? Yes. The label is auto sized by default. Excellent. All right. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, guys. We are in a good position. Okay, so we need to figure out how to center that X label. So we have the anchor, and we need to shift it to the right-hand side a little bit. Label get size. That's not right. What we want to do is we want to take the anchor plus half the size of the anchor. Right? We want this X value, but then we want to add half of it. I'm going to use some parentheses. And then with that, we want to subtract half the size of the control itself. And then that should be centering it horizontally. Let's check that. I worked with a guy named Gaurav who was in India. I wonder if it's the same Gaurav. Could be. Maybe. Okay, let's see. New game. Easy. Start medium. Okay. Is that centered? That's not centered. Well, I guess it depends on what it's centering on, right? It's centering on... I mean, it is centering on what I'm telling you. It's centering on the anchor. It's centering on this map control. That's what it's centering on. Map anchor X. Oh, no. No, I don't want to add X. I don't want to do half of X. No. I want to do half of the size. But the size of what? Is it... Again, map size. I think I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to change it because I think that's a... So you have the anchor, which is the... I've already forgotten. Well, anchor is the XY location to the top left-hand corner. Map size is the size of the control itself. And then, where did it, oh, it changed. Okay. Oh, and then, yes, grid size is the number of tiles. Okay. So let's see. We come over here. Okay. That is much better. I'm going to get rid of this vertical line in the text because I feel like if I have the vertical line in the text that it should be centered itself, but it's not. Okay, and we can still draw. I think the window is looking really good. I think that the gameplay window is looking really good. We need to make this text smaller and maybe change it somehow. So we come over here. I said I wanted to get rid of this bar. What if we just have 3 spaces? That should be fine. And then here's a part that scares me where it says set text size 32, right? If I look, let me see. So the screen size itself is, well, here. You have the resolution. The resolution is 19. Oh. Do I want to deal with the screen size or do I want to be able to deal with the resolution? I'm dealing with the screen size in a few places. But I feel... So my understanding is screen size is how many pixels... Oh my God, why should I should know this? The screen size itself, that's actually window size is what I should call it. Actually, I'll call it that. Window. Well, actually, let's see. No, they call it window size. Oh, window size. Window size and screen resolution. That's why it's confusing. Okay. I see. All right, we're going to operate on screen size for now. We don't have a ton of controls, so if we have to, we can come back and change it. We're going to say 32. Let me get my window back. Window size 1600. I was like 0.005%. I'm trying to think of what 1600 times 0.005. 0.005%. It's 8. There is a method to my madness here. What am I doing wrong? I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Okay, 0.02%. 0.02%. So what I'm saying is the text size should be about 2% of 0.02%. No, 2%. No. Oh my God. Really? I have a degree in mathematics. But again, I always say, like, people, they'll ask me, what's 17 times 464? And I'm like, I don't know. Don't you like math? There's a difference between math and arithmetic. Like, people don't get that, but there is math and arithmetic are very different things. Just because you like mathematics does not mean you are a human calculator. So, just putting that out there. Let's talk about... Is it target? Get size X times, and I actually want it to be a little smaller, 0.015. Let's try that. Let's be good stewards of the earth and cast that. Oh, wait, text size. What is text size want? Text size wants an unsigned int. Okay. I'm going to assume that is yeah. All right, let's see how that goes. Let's see what happens. And then, as long as that looks, I would kind of like those 3 dots. I would kind of like those 3 dots to be in the text itself. Because I guess maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I started turning on white space on all my IDEs, even spaces, not just tabs and new line. I mean, like everything, like every white space option I have, I turn on. Okay, this is nice. This is looking better. Now what we need to do is we have this text size, maybe make it a tad smaller. So let's go to 125, right? And then I want to center it perfectly between this and this. And that should be easy to do. So right now we're just adding 5 to the Y location. What we can do, we can take this is the bottom of the map. We can take the whole target size, target get size Y, okay. We can subtract the size of the map. What does that give us? That gives us the amount of space in there, right? That's the whole window minus right, minus the bottom of the map gives us that space, and now we want to find the midway point of it. So we should just be able to divide it in half. But that's not the Y location. We have to add that to the bottom. So we have to add this right here. I mean, we could put that in a variable, but we won't. Not right now. Okay. So that should be the midway point of that little space at the bottom of the window, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, let me know. think it is. So, and that's where the text should be. The text should be centered. All right. No. No. I mean, I don't hate the way it looks, but I just want to know. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I've centered it. I've centered the top of the text. I bet that's what happened. So not only that, I need to do this Y location minus half the Y size of this control. And that should do it. That's a lot. I feel like that math could be simplified, but maybe not. I'm not too concerned about optimizing like basic math, like when it comes to like addition. Okay, yeah, that looks beautiful. That looks really good. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, I am consistently impressed with myself. Like, look at that. That looks amazing. Now, of course, the question is, how does this look on Mac, right? Like, how is this gonna look? Because I do I work on this game. I mean, not a lot, but I do work on this game on my Mac. Let's look at the code. Let's check the code in, and then and then I'm gonna run downstairs, grab my laptop, my MacBook, and then we'll see. We'll check it out, compile it really quick, and we'll see how it goes. I'm scared, honestly. I am scared. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we got rid of that. That's good. We got rid of a bunch of junk there. We changed this stuff around. Okay, that looks good. And then Tile Manager itself. What changed here? 0 changes. 0 new. Well, why is it showing up as... Okay, let's just go ahead and put it there. Okay. Improved alignment of game screen controls. Okay. So let's go... Oh, well, I need to step away for a minute anyway. I need to use the bathroom. I want to get something else to drink. I'm scared. Honestly, I'm a little nervous to check it out on my Mac and see what it looks like. I'm going to have to do it anyway. All right, where's my be right back screen? It's right there. I'll be right back. I returned. Did my music stop? Oh, it's just the end of the track. Okay. So, the reason I went downstairs... Ooh. Oh, it's a little chilly. Put this on. Love it. I was wondering where that hat went. Ugh. Went downstairs to grab this. I'm going to pull out the code. I'm going to check out the code. I'm going to pull down the latest version of the code here. See how it goes. It's going to take me a minute. Shouldn't take me too long, actually. It should just take me a minute. I know you guys aren't seeing this. You will not be privy to this because you just won't be. Okay, get fetch. Get pull? Remix? Okay. Alright, let me load up the dev environment. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Okay. Alright, it is building. I don't think the cable on this, the cable on this camera is not long enough. Oh no. Oh, okay. Alright. Let's run it. I don't think you can see it very well. It's going to run. It's going to run. Any minute now. Any minute. Let's run it. Okay, it's running. It's starting up. Starting up. Can you see? Do you see? Do you see? Okay. Why? Okay. This is what it looks like on Mac, right? I don't think you can see it, but whatever. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm looking at the camera, trying to get a good view. Oh, okay, it's a new game. Okay, this is the moment of truth, right? It's the moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, this text is set dynamically, right? Up here. I don't know if you can see it, but the text up there, it's set dynamically. The text down there, it's all, okay. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, okay. I am not even going to worry about that right now. Woo! Man. God damn. Go me. All right, that works out well. That works out really, really well. I am super happy about that. Oh, nice. So let's go back over here and see. Let's see where we stand again. So one thing, if you did notice on the Mac, these buttons are all like they look friendlier. That's a really that is a relatively easy thing to change, which I was hoping I'd get some help changing them, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. So I think maybe I'll go ahead and change them myself. At some point, no. I'm going to sit on that for a little bit. So one of the things I was thinking about doing, countdown mode. So when you do countdown mode, the way I envision countdown mode working is you click start game. This window comes up and then it says starting in 1, 2, 3, go. And then the countdown starts. and it gives you a country name, and then you got to start drawing, and then you hit space, then you okay. So, and then I shouldn't have closed it. So that's how. I mean, let's look at it. Let's go through these options again. All right. Whoops. So that's countdown mode, right? And then maybe depending, I don't know. There's other settings we can add later, but countdown mode, I think we default it to a minute, maybe 2 minutes. That's how countdown mode works. You comes here once again, just to reiterate, 3, 2, 1, go, and then then timer starts going down, and you got to draw. Okay, easy enough. Timed mode is similar. 3, 2, 1, go. It shows a country, but instead the timer is going up, and you have to complete 5 countries within. No, you can take as much time as you want, but the goal is to complete them as fast as you can. Whereas the other, so that's a way to look at it. Okay, so countdown mode is completing as many countries as you can in a fixed time, whereas time mode is completing a fixed number of countries in as quickly as you can. So in timed mode, the time is variable. In countdown mode, the number of countries is variable. But they both start the same. They both start with ready, 3, 2, 1, go. And like for some reason in my mind, I picture like a racing game, like an old school like 1980s racing game. Go, dude, and then you start. That's kind of what I'm picturing. And we could do that. There's no reason we couldn't do that. But anyway, I started adding the framework for that. So what I did was I added this game controller class. And I think it would make sense for those different modes to be derived from this game controller class. And the first one I have is countdown controller. All right, we'll add others as they come. So I'm thinking we start that, because these are basically just going to be like little state machines, right? They're going to keep track of where they are in the process. They'll, and so you have the starting state, which is where it's going to count down. And the thing is you're even going to have states within states, right? Because the count, like if you think about the countdown process, it's going to have to know to display starting in 3, right? And then it's going to have to know to display 2. It's going to have to know how to count down, and that's just those are just different states. So I almost feel like the controller could have like a countdown controller, which actually, but then a countdown gameplay controller. No, okay, so you can have like the game start controller, and then that controller hands itself over to a countdown controller. Okay, so what I'm thinking of, we would have a class game start controller, right? And then you know what you could have? So what would happen then is this game start controller would be the actual one that displays the starting in 3, 2, 1, dude. And then when that is done, it hands itself over to the countdown controller. So you could have something like, and I'm not saying this is what we're going to do, but you could have something like a game controller. That's exactly how the frig does AI know that? I was talking about a Next controller. I'm going to try and trick the AI. Well, because you see, I would also want a previous controller. Okay, it's going to give me that. Okay, but I would like a previous controller because the previous controller will allow me to back up and... All right, so it's okay. It just knew. It just knew that I wanted a Next controller. The AI literally said Next controller before I had a chance to say it. Anyway, So and okay, so this is how you do the handoff, right? The game start controller gets, you would pass it a second controller so that when the game start controller is done, it hands itself over to this new controller, and there you go. Okay, that makes sense. And this could be countdown. So we don't actually need the starting state anymore. We would just need the running, pause, and maybe ended state. These states are likely to change. And you might not even need them now that I'm thinking about this a little more. You might not even need this state. Probably will. You'll probably need some concept of state, but you might not need it to be as ham-fisted as this. Okay. Let's see. Let's split this over here. Why is that over there? Can we... Okay. What happened? I always forget how to do this in Visual Studio. No. There's a way to open the same file in multiple splits. And I don't know how to do it. Right? There's like a way to open this file a second time. And I don't know how to do it. Because in Visual Studio Code it's so easy. Right? You just split it. It's extremely easy. But here it's challenging and I don't know why. How do you do this? There is a way to do this. I just don't know how. New vertical document group. No, it's doing that with new files. Okay, can I add restore? Okay, let's try. I know it's under the window screen somewhere. Move previous, auto hide. No. Oh wait, split. No, that's not what I want. Okay, what about over here? Nothing? What about here? Oh my stars and garters. Why is this so difficult? This is like trying to add a debug, trying to add a command line parameter when debugging an application in Visual Studio Code. It's impossible. Show, move, snap, get, tap, float, open, no. Okay. Split. New window. Ah, my stars and garters. I did it. There it is. It's new window. Right there. Is there a shortcut? No. But I could assign one, but I'm not going to. Okay. What was I doing? Completely forgot what I was doing. I was going to look at the game controller. And then... Okay, we've, thanks to the AI, but I don't want to use a raw pointer. That just makes me nervous, right? Hey, AI. Okay, I have an idea. So the AI is pretty smart. If I define this, I guess it would have to be a shared pointer. It would have to be a shared pointer. I have to figure out the whole handing itself off. If update. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. Do we not have that? Let's see. Where? Okay. Thank you, AI. AI knew I was looking for memory for shared pointer. Now, if I get rid of these, it'll probably add them back. Yep. But one thing I will like to do is this. Just add a nice little shortcut. That should be fine. And then this way I can change all of these pretty easily. The AI doesn't know. There we go. Thank you, AI. All right. Whoa. Whoa! Stop moving around. Okay. Are you going to give me a get next controller? No. Alright, that's fine. Is there any refactor that will let me move these? Change signature, move definition, location. Boom. Oh, it puts it inline. It makes it inline. I guess. So inline doesn't quite mean what let me back up. My understanding of inline is that since around C++ 11, inline doesn't quite mean what it used to. But maybe it does? I'm going to ask Copilot. Ask Copilot. Why are you using inline here? So like inline normally is, at least in recent years, inline would be used if you're defining a function in the header and then you don't want to get a bunch of errors that like in multiple places, multiple translation units, at least I think it's multiple places are using that same header. Then when the linker comes along, the linker is going to be like, hey, I have a bunch of copies of this function and I don't know which one to use. Where if you define the function as inline, right, that just tells the linker, like, just pick one. Just pick one. What do we see here? But inline used to mean, that's maybe what this whole this thing of text is telling me. Inline used to kind of be also like if it had a really small function, just take the body of the function and just put it inline where I've called it. I'm going to leave it as a function call where I've in my source code because that's just easier for a human to read. But the machine just kind of take the source code, just take the source of the function and just put it there. Just put it where it's been called. Just replace the call with the actual source code of the function itself. But I don't know that it really does that anymore. Okay, does that anymore? Let's see what Google Pilot has to say, or Copilot. The inline keyword is used here to suggest that the next controller function should be inlined by the compiler. Inlining a function means that the function's code is inserted directly into the calling code, like I just said, instead of making a separate function call. This can improve performance by reducing overhead function calls. Yes. In this specific case, next controller is defined inside the class declaration and marked as inline. That's not in. Okay. No. This isn't the class declaration. This is the class definition. Oh, wait. This is the definition and declaration. I would, okay, whatever. Okay, by doing so, the compiler can potentially optimize the code by eliminating the function call overhead directly and directly returning the value next controller without a need for a separate function call. It's important to note the inline keyword is commonly used for small, frequent. However, it's worth mentioning that modern compilers are often capable of making their own decisions about function inlining based on various optimization techniques. All right, so it basically said everything I just said about, well, not everything. It didn't say everything about what I just said. Okay, I don't like it. And I guess you could argue that next controller might be performance critical code because the controller, the only time it's going to be used maybe is when control is being handed off, but it's not going to happen often. I don't like it. I don't like it. But then again, a lot of smart people work at Microsoft, so maybe I should listen to them. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Can we just put a move definition, create declaration definition, create definition of this? Yeah, these are definitions. That's a declaration. Yeah. These are definitions. These are declarations. That's what I said. Okay, this should at least compile. Oh, I see. Okay, now it should at least compile. All right, that compiled. Let's see how it runs. I mean, I didn't really change anything. I really like how nice that looks really nice. That really, and you know, you're gonna have like where'd my sketch go? Right, you're gonna have like a map of Bolivia underneath of it, or a map of whatever country, right? You're gonna have a map of a country underneath of it, and then fun facts are going to pop up as the game goes on, as you're taking longer. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. So what that does mean, though, is in the game screen, actually in the game screen header, we're going to need a... They don't have a lot of stuff here, which is good. We're just going to go ahead and include... Hey, Microsoft, Copilot, I need to include game controller. I want to include the game controller class. It wants to do new settings. I want to include the game controller. Not cam controller. Game controller. All right. Well, it doesn't. It really does not want me to include the game controller, but I'm gonna the game controller file. Okay, because the reason we need that is down here. Oh. Yeah. And now the type of controller is going to depend on the game mode. So the game mode is in game settings. Did I put a game settings? Where is that stored? Is it game engine? Game type. Free, timed, and countdown. I think what we need probably, if we do it in game controller.h, which is here, I'm going to put it over here for now. I wouldn't mind some Jesus Christ, AI, stop! It's scary. Create game controller, but you need to pass it. Actually, you need to pass it a. We need to include GameEngine.h. Hopefully, GameEngine.h. Yeah, there's no reason. Okay, so include. Let's see if AI picks up what I'm getting at now. But oh my god, it kind of did. It kind of did pick up what. It kind of did pick up what I was setting down. I want the second part of this, but actually, what I really want. No, it kind of didn't. Let's There we go. All right. Yeah. It's complaining that there is nothing there. Okay. I want to put this at the top. I mean, I defined it at the top, so I want to put it at the top here. And I don't think we have classes for all of these, right? Like we don't have, so we have the game star controller, countdown timer. I'm intrigued by the problem of being able to hand over, of like having the object hand over itself to another object. Like for some reason that problem really kind of intrigues me a little bit, and I don't know why. I feel like once I get there, it's gonna, on the surface, it's gonna be simple, but I don't think it is. No, it will be, because I can have like the update method return something and then take action. You still need a controller. What would be cool is if the object itself could somehow turn itself into another object internally, right? So what I mean is, just down here on a scrap space. So if I'm like in a loop, while looping. And then I have like controller update. And then at some point have this controller object change itself. I guess you could just have it could be like it could be like an interface class, and then it just points to an implementation. Like you could do something like that. But I'm talking about like full-fledged replacement. Yeah. Anyway, all right. It's not that I think I'm almost like calling an assignment operator on an object internally, which I guess you could do. I mean, there's nothing stopping you. Yeah, I don't know. No. I'm thinking about it too much. It's like I'm thinking about a dream within a dream and inside a dream. All right, let's add classes for these types. Then let's get the game controller being created within the game class, and then we're going to call it a day. So we have the countdown controller, which is countdown, and then we will have we're basically just going to add shells, right? We don't need a full-fledged game right now. And actually, I'm just going to literally just add a shell for these functions. And then free mode is the next one. Thank you, AI. Yes. Okay. Now, the game controller, this should be able to... Yep. Game mode countdown, make shared. It's interesting that the AI did not... Oh, that's why it's not adding the breaks. It's returning right away. It's saying, yeah, screw you. I'm going to return inside the switch statement. All right, so this would be a game start. Okay, the AI is a little confused, so that's fine. Help it out a little bit. We have one more case that it forgot. And then the default, of course, is to return. Actually, yeah, default is return null. That's fine. Can we do... I know you can have a try statement as the function body. Can you have a switch? Nah. All right. That would have been cool. I didn't think you could, but whatever. Okay. Countdown 60. Yeah, we're gonna have to add some options to eventually pass that in there, but that's fine for now. Let's see if we get any compile errors like this. No, I don't think so. I think we're good. Oh wait. Oh, this must return a value. Okay, so we'll just... AI, you disappointed me. You didn't do that for some reason, AI. Why didn't you do that? Okay. And then this one, I think, is probably returning yes. Okay, let's try this now. Let's try compiling. Boom, boom. And then, like I said, within the game screen class, we'll just go ahead. We'll create the objects as they are. We'll make sure that works as expected. And then next time, we'll start actually, you know, making them do stuff. I think they'll need not only an update, they might need a draw method as well. But we'll see. Okay, that compiled. So, and this should be pretty easy, right? This should just be a matter of down here where you're just going to have this. Yeah. No, that's not it at all. Wow, the AI really blew the coop on that one. It's going to do GS. Create game controller. Settings. Wow, the AI is really confused. Game type. We'll go ahead. We'll just pause. We'll put a breakpoint there. Okay, I compiled. Let's see if it works. And literally, we're just going to make sure the objects are what we think they would be. New game, free mode. And so this object should be free. Let's see. The object is this controller, and it should be a type of free mode. It is a type controller. Yeah, you're right. It's a game. But can I get the underlying type? Ah, yes, right there. Free game controller. Perfect. Okay. So if we go back, and then we select time mode. Time mode. Perfect. And I have no reason to think that the other one won't work. Countdown mode. Now, of course, when we get into this a little more, we're going to have to, this game controller. This is basically a factory function. This will have to build this will have to build everything correctly, or it's going to have to set up so that like the controller that it really creates is going to be the countdown controller. But then it's going to set the next controller for the countdown controller as well. So that's what the factory function will do. But we'll save that for next time. Let's check in our changes. As always, review your changes. It's a good idea, I think. Always review your changes. Let me do this on a different screen though. Because you change things and then you forget you changed them, or you make a typo and then just review your changes. It takes a second. It just takes a second. And also everything that you changed is highlighted. And this is another thing that I would recommend of kind of, mid-level, junior level engineers. I see, and I'm guilty of this too. I see really large change sets, like really large ones. And I guess if you're working on a project that multiple people are working on, you can't have lots of little changes in master, or master will just get completely polluted. But try to keep your change sets small. Just try to keep them small. That's fine. You want to have small incremental changes, because not only is that easier to read when it comes to PR review time, it is also easier if something suddenly goes wrong. It's easier to see where it went wrong. It's just, Okay, beginning to add game controller functionality. All right. Okay, and we have pushed that. That looks good. I am happy that that those controls are working on my Mac. I am very pleased by that. I kind of just want to look at it again, because it looks like it looks like a nice screen. It's kind of empty. There's not a lot going on there. New game, right? Whoop, still got that breakpoint. There's not a lot going on here, but it looks good. Just imagine this. You're drawing. Oh, you're trying to draw France or whatever it is. Maybe you're trying to draw Spain. And Spain comes down something like this. I don't know. That could be Spain, right? But no, I think it looks good. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the stream. I might be back tomorrow. I don't know. Who knows? This was kind of a spur of the moment, so you never know. Be sure to like and subscribe. There are travel videos coming out every Sunday. I have another one coming out for Canada when I went to Canada back in December, and then after that I think that's the last one for Canada. So next week should be the first video for India, for my trip to India back in January. And also I got an editor, like an actual person who does video editing to edit my videos. So the one next week will be the first one that he has edited. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.